everyone, it's your girl Pretty T and welcome to Sips with Pretty. So today I am going to talk about a very heavy topic. I said heavy because where I come from in the Gambia, which is in Africa and West Africa, this topic is very frowned upon. It's always frowned upon. Like people don't like to talk about this topic because when you talk about it, there are people who want to come and beat you, fight you. There are people who think you're offending them when you talk about this topic. So, my topic today is FGM. FGM means female genital mutilation. It is a process where, some part of a woman's body is cut because some people think the woman does not deserve to have certain type of, sexual feelings, So, FGM, my experience with FGM, when I was a kid, I was circumcised. As a kid, I was circumcised, but I do not remember it. I was a baby. I cannot tell you who did it, how they do it, who were there. I do not remember anything because I was a baby. I think I was as young as 2 years old when they did that to me. So I do not remember anything. But fast forward to when I was 10, 11 years old, my younger sister, y'all know I have 4 younger sisters. One of my younger sister that I am 5 years older than was circumcised when I was like 10, 11 years old. And during the time, I remember like our neighbors coming in, and one of my neighbors tried to like look for her and take her to go and do that to her. And I remember like helping her to hide. Like I hide her, me and her, like we went and hide. And I remember like how my grandmother was not happy with that. Like that was crazy. So they finally caught her and they took her and they did it to her. It was painful. She cried the whole day, almost the whole week before she could heal and all of that. And during the days, like those days that is seen as a festive days in the house, that people are dancing, singing, doing stuff, during those days I was told a story about how I was circumcised. I think my grandmother was talking with someone and she was saying like how when they tried to circumcise me, my dad, who was a soldier by then, refused for me to be circumcised, and he made it clear that if anybody do that to me, he's gonna have a problem with them. But my parents wait. My grandparents wait until my dad went to work, and they stole me basically, and they took me all the way to the up country, like all the way to the province, and do that to me there with more than 200 kids. Like there were so many kids. I can tell you, I am so they used the same blade on all of us. Like I'm telling you, like that was crazy because like after I grew up, I have seen the same thing happen over and over. Like every 3 years or every 5 years, they will bring hundreds of kids together and do it all at once together and have a very big ceremony. But then my when they did that, my dad, when he closed from work, he found out that I was taken to the province for that, and they said, according to my grandmom, my dad packed some of his soldier friends, and they drove all the way to the province. They drove all the way to the province, and they went there to stop them from doing that to me, but they were too late. When they got there, it happened, and my dad was so mad. He wanted to sue them. It became a whole big problem, and that the alcalos have to intervene. The alcalos are the head of the villages. They had to intervene, and people had to come and like make peace between my grandfather, my dad, and my grandparents. So it was crazy. And for me personally, like when I think about that, I'm always like, I really appreciate that my dad actually fought for me, even though he wasn't successful. Like I really appreciate that. How many people, how many parents in Africa, especially in the Gambia, would actually come and stop that? Like even make that effort. Some people will not even say anything; they just keep quiet about it. Like some men were like, okay, not my thing. Women can take care of it. So that's what some people will say. But my dad, for him to even make the effort, for him to even make it clear that he doesn't want his girl child going through that, and for him to even make effort and go after them, and trying to make them, to trying to to trying to hold them accountable for what they did. I really appreciate that, and may his soul rest in peace. I actually love that about him, and I really appreciate that. I wish I could fight for my sisters like that, but I could not, because when they were done, when it was done to them, they were kids. And I know when you talk about FGM, especially in the Gambia, people will be like, "Oh, it's the religion, blah blah blah." I know there are people whose job are taking kids to, like, circumcising people. That's their job, that's their paychecks. And when you look at it, you're like, okay, I don't want to take the market away from these people whose livelihood depend on it. But then I think about, how do you want to have a job that hurts people? You know what I mean? Like, come on, let's be reasonable. And if the woman does not want to go through this, why do you want to force them? I think like it should be every child's choice. Like, parents should actually leave their kids when they grow up and they decide for themselves if they want to go through this. Because I am sure that if nobody had told me anything and they leave me to decide for myself, I would never have gone through it. And I'm so many people my age would have rejected it. So, I mean, it's crazy, and it's still a heavy topic in where I come from, in the Gambia and in some part of Africa. Some people see it like you are attacking their culture and their traditions, and I feel like FGM should not be practiced, you know what I mean? And shout out to the Gambian women who have stand and fought for the right of women and girls in the Gambia. And now FGM is finally outlawed in the Gambia, which is amazing. Shout out to everyone who have done that. Also, let me hear your stories about FGM in the comment section. Give me your thoughts. How do you feel? Do you think FGM is something that should still continue? Or do you think that everyone should be given that right to choose whether or not they want to go through this? Let me know in the comment section. Until then, see you.